Good Thursday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on this Thursday, the 20th of November, 2014. And this morning across the entire New Jersey, New York City, Philadelphia, metropolitan area, as well as the lower Hudson Valley. We're starting out with partly to mostly cloudy skies across the region. Temperatures are on the chilly side. They range from the low to the mid 20s over the interior and the Poconos region, all the way into the low and mid 30s along the coast and along the I-95 corridor as well. And under clear skies overnight before the clouds are moving in as warm air advection is taking place ahead of a cold front moving through central Pennsylvania right now. Temperatures last night and early this morning dropped off into the teens across the interior sections of the lower Hudson Valley, continue Connecticut, also northeastern Pennsylvania and the Pocono region, into the upper teens and lower 20s in northern New Jersey, into the lower 20s around the New York City metropolitan area and also out on Long Island. And elsewhere, temperatures ranged in the upper teens to the low and mid 20s across the region for overnight lows this morning. This morning's visible pass of the satellite this morning shows mid-level deck of clouds ahead of a cold front approaching from central Pennsylvania. Some areas are clear from central and southern New Jersey south, and a little bit more cloud cover across the north and northeast into the Hudson River Valley. A little bit of lifting here as cold air advection and a cold front is on the way. And this is a continuation of the heavy snow bands which are now occurring across the downwind from Lake Erie and also Lake Ontario here in Watertown where it's snowing too. And the snow continues to really pile up downwind of Buffalo where an impressive, absolutely impressive several days of lake effect snow has occurred. And on the aviational weather deck today, we don't have any airport delays, which is good news. So we do have generally VFR conditions for today and tonight. A few mid-level clouds with warm air advection this morning that will exit to our east. And skies will clear off a little bit during this afternoon, but the winds will become a little bit more gusty. They're right now from the south-southwest. They'll back around a little bit more to the west, become gusty later this morning and persist right through this afternoon with gusts up to about 20 knots. VFR mostly clear skies and light westerly winds tonight. Northwest winds on Friday gusting up to 20 to 25 knots. VFR expected. Friday night through Saturday night, light southwest winds develop. VFR expected. And MVFR to potentially IFR developing Sunday afternoon through Monday, especially late on Sunday afternoon and Sunday night as the rain moves into the area. A few showers may linger into Monday, but conditions should improve to VFR during the afternoon. Right now, outside of Newark, it's freezing, 32. Dew point 18, humidity 56%. The wind is light out of the southwest at 3. It's mostly cloudy with a few clouds at 8,000 and scattered clouds at 25,000. The winds will back around to the west and become gusty, better than 25 to 30 knots during this afternoon, begin to diminish a little bit tonight and then be back up again, both gusts exceeding 20 knots again early tomorrow morning with just a few widely scattered clouds and VFR conditions in place. Philadelphia right now is also at 36, dew point 20, humidity 52%. The wind is southwest at 13. A few clouds at 8,000, 11,000, and broken at 20,000. The wind chill makes it feel like it's 27 out there, and VFR conditions in place. Watches, warnings, and advisories on the air, land, and sea. We only have advisories now on the ocean fronts, and this is for small craft advisories. The gale warnings have been dropped down to small craft advisories, but near gale force gust expected later today and again on Friday. And right now, high-end small craft advisory conditions early Friday morning, but winds relax a bit during the afternoon. And basically Friday night through Saturday, sub-small craft conditions, and although winds will be near threshold for a period during Saturday night. Sunday night and Monday, a strong southerly jet forecast to develop just off the surface on Sunday night, and this will be associated with a warm air mass that is moving in, which does not provide favorable mixing setup, currently advertising small craft winds and seas for this period. NAMWRF composite reflectivity forecast from Penn State Seawall site shows a cold front passing through our region during this afternoon, late this morning and early afternoon. Here comes the snow. The snow bands continue to pile up across the warm waters on the east end here, the northeast end of Lake Erie. And by the time this weekend's over, if they approach or exceed 100 inches, we could be dealing with anywhere from 8.5 to 9 feet of snow on the ground downwind Buffalo. It's just been an absolute catastrophe in this region, as everyone has been following this on the local media and social media as well. Back in our neck of the woods, cold front comes through, and we break for some scattered clouds. during this afternoon and this evening. And for tonight, temperatures drop down from the upper 30s and lower 40s back into the 20s and teens across the interior. And by the time we get to tomorrow, lots of sunshine around. And basically, we're dealing with a cold atmosphere. Temperatures running generally in the mid to the upper 30s across the region. And by the time we get to Saturday, generally high pressure is in control, and a warm front will be moving in from our west. Temperatures on Saturday afternoon will be remaining in the low to the mid 30s across the region. So look at the GFS parallel 500 millibar, about 30,000 feet up in the atmosphere. Geopotential height and mean sea level pressure over the next 10 days. And we've got an active polar jet across the region as disturbances move through the flow and then into the northeastern United States, and then the flow begins to back a little bit, become more zonal at times. So we're going to have a transitory air mass situation over the next 10 days. Nothing's really locked in yet with a negative NAO yet. We're still in a neutral to positive phase, and that won't probably occur until later, right after the holiday is over with next week, and we'll get into that in just a moment. By the time we get to Saturday, we find warm, high pressure. Well, I wouldn't say warm, high pressure, but we're going to find temperatures rising from about 20 to 25 degrees above where they were the last 2 days. And that's going to lead to some rain on Sunday and Sunday night and Monday. We'll get into that in a moment. But the basic idea here is that the heights will be continue to rise from the influence of high pressure off the Atlantic, and it's still an active polar jet and subtropical jet undercutting this in a split flow pattern. And this means that warm air weather will be over the eastern United States with a trough axis across the plains and storm systems digging up towards the Great Lakes. And as such, find that that's going to keep our area in a more nearly zonal flow with a little bit of perturbations moving through the flow. We're going to have a contrast of temperatures with cool downs, especially just before Thanksgiving. It looks like Thanksgiving is going to be a dry but cold day for the New Jersey, New York City, northern mid-Atlantic region. And by the time we get to later on to Thursday night and Friday, your Black Friday, looks like high pressure is once again going to be building in across the region. The cold air will be waxing and waning off to the east, and warmer weather will start to infiltrate the region just a little bit as we head into the big shopping holiday weekend for the first official shopping weekend of Christmas 2014 season. GFS maps into motion from this is Tropical Tibbet Site, Levi Cohen. Here comes the cold front through the region. Cold air advection moving in, high pressure moving in across the Ohio River Valley. That will be with us through Saturday with chilly temperatures, but a little bit warmer than we've seen over the last couple of days, especially earlier this week. High moves off the coast, and here comes our southern flank system here moving into the Tennessee River Valley here, the Mississippi River Valley. It will be deepening as it moves in towards the Great Lakes once again, and then southeastern Canada as a result of blocking high pressure off of the western Atlantic. That will send a stream of moisture and warm air advection with warm temperatures in the 50s and 60s as we approach Monday, and rain moving in for Sunday night into Monday morning, becoming moving offshore. Secondary reinforcement heading to the northeast away from the region with just another cold frontal passage by late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. And that's when the cold air comes back in for Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night, and Wednesday, the shopping day of the year, with dry weather conditions across the northeastern United States. Here's a Clipper storm system coming out of southeastern Canada or central Canada, central southern Canada, and that will dive to the south and east and kind of minor out, but it will continue to introduce a trough axis here in the mid over the eastern United States for Thanksgiving with dry high pressure in control. And as a result of that, temperatures are going to continue on the chilly side, but it will be a dry turkey day for most regions across the New Jersey, New York City, Philadelphia metropolitan area. And that dry weather will last into the first official shopping day of the holiday season on Friday for Black Friday, but it will be chilly. Northern system will be heading into our southern flanks of southeastern Canada here, and that will drive another cold front through the region, probably late Friday night, early Saturday morning, and keep a continuation of near normal to slightly below normal temperatures across the forecast region. 500 millibar height anomalies from the European, the GFS, and the CMC, that's the Canadian model here, show a lot of disparity of where the trough axis will be. European says it's stuck back in the central plains. GFS is rushing the cold air too fast, and the height anomalies as well to the eastern United States, which is a bias. And this one might be a bias too on the European of holding back the trough a little bit too far to the west. And this here on the CMC is just a little bit too zonal. So There's a lot of confusion here on exactly where the trough axis will be, but predominantly right now, if we took a mean average of this, we're going to find basically that it's probably going to remain in the Central Plains with storms cutting up towards the Great Lakes. We still don't have a negative NAO yet. All the other parameters are heading into the tank, and probably we're going to have to wait till the first week of December or even a little bit after that before we can really hone in and settle into a forecast for the winter of 2014 and 15, where it still looks quite stormy and cold. So for everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a pleasant Thursday. We'll be back with your weekend details tomorrow morning on Friday.